I'm Amy Robach, and this is my story. I am the news anchor for Good Morning America, and I feel so honored to be able to see the world and tell other people's stories. When I got into my first journalism class, I went out on my first story for University News, and it was about a young woman who had overdosed on drugs. And I just drove out to where her address was shown, and her father happened to be there. I went up to him with a camera and a microphone, and I said, "I'm Amy Robach. I work for University News, and this story will be seen in every dorm room tonight. If you sit and talk to me about who your daughter was and how she died and the mistakes she made, you could save a life." I absolutely caught the journalism bug in that moment, and I never looked back. I've said, and it's an absolute true statement to make, that Good Morning America saved my life. I was 40 and had not had a mammogram and was not planning on getting a mammogram anytime soon. It was Good Morning America's producers who asked me to have the first ever, as far as they knew, live mammogram in the middle of Times Square to raise awareness for women getting tested at 40. I said no. I am not having my first mammogram televised. And Robin Roberts, who is a breast cancer survivor, told me, if you go in there and you go into that mammogram, you will save a life. And when she said that, it was very hard to say no to. So I said, yes, I'll do it to raise awareness. Never thinking in a million years that that mammogram would lead to a breast cancer diagnosis. I was annoyed that I got the call to come in for more tests. I wasn't nervous. I just didn't think it was possible that I could have breast cancer. But the doctor kept coming back in saying, is there anyone you can call to be with you when we give you the results? And there wasn't. So I said, I can call my husband and put him on speakerphone. He was on a business trip, and she said, okay, let's do that. So I put Andrew on speakerphone, and at this point I'm getting nervous because she seemed fairly serious. But she hadn't gotten the results yet, so I kept telling myself it's going to be okay. She said, Mr. Shue, before we get started, before I read the results, I need to ask you a question. And that's when she said, Mr. Shue, are you driving? And when she said that, I knew, unequivocally, I knew what she was going to say next, that the tumor that they had found was malignant. The whole time I was standing there saying, I don't need a mammogram, I'm perfectly healthy, I had 2 malignant tumors and positive lymph node. I decided to have a double mastectomy, and thank goodness I did, because if I had just had a lumpectomy to remove the one tumor that was spotted, they would never have found the second tumor. And when they went in to do the lymph nodes, they found that the cancer had spread there too. So that absolutely altered my course of treatment, and at that moment we knew I had to go to chemo. It was really hard writing the book, really hard. I cried when I wrote it and rewrote it and read it. I mean, it was very cathartic. The one piece of advice that I would give to women who are battling cancer is to let people help you. It's hard to be vulnerable and to accept help, but once you do, the love you receive is tremendous. I hope I'm a role model to other women by urging them to take their health seriously, to know that we're all vulnerable, that we all need to take care of ourselves. I'm Amy Robach, and I am a breast cancer survivor.